Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sitting with Arvin. Today, I'm doing something that involves creative storytelling. So, what I do is go into public, find a stranger, and I ask them for 3 words. Then, I take those 3 words, set a timer for myself, and create a quick short story on those words. And I hope you guys enjoy. Can I ask you guys a quick question?
Yeah.
I'm writing a short story. I'm asking for 3 words and then I build a story around it.
Yeah.
Tree,
Freedom
freedom,
and running.
running. Tree, freedom, and running. Thank you.
Okay. Good luck.
You guys have a good one. This story was from the words freedom, tree, and running. Her name was Blaze and she was a thoroughbred racehorse. Today she stood against a tall white fence and gazed towards the sun-baked plains that lay ahead. A mixture of dry heat and pending cold swirled together to form a whispering breeze that weaved its way through small islands of grass and warm earth. Softly shaped canyons stretched eastward, and wild mustangs painted the horizon with trails of reddish dust. To her right stood a small acorn, and behind her, dressed in white, was the place where she lived. Blaze belonged to a prestigious class of racehorses. She enjoyed yummy apples and fresh oats, and even received daily groomings. Sadly, though, the glamour of fancy racing routines and shiny facilities seemed empty to her. The plastic fences that shaped her running ovals didn't grant her full expression, and the invisible constraints of rules and expectations added to this feeling of confinement. Despite the restricting environment, however, she never stopped dreaming. Every night after training, she stood by the tall white fence and watched as wild horses spread trails of dust across a colorful sky. One day, as Blaze peered over the tall white fence, he noticed a young acorn that sat near its base. Blaze became curious. "Mr. Acorn," inquired Blaze, "what are you doing in this dry land?" The acorn was small and his voice was quiet, so Blaze lowered her head and listened carefully to the tiny voice. "I'm looking for a place to burrow my roots," whispered the acorn. "And tell me then," inquired Blaze, "what is so important about roots?" "Roots are important, well, because they keep me strong and they remind me where I come from." Blaze whinnied and neighed, and the acorn continued his speech. "You, too, have roots," said the small tree. "Your roots run wild with the mustangs." Blaze lifted her head to the horizon and repeated the words. "Well, then," she said in a questioning manner, "how might I become free like my roots also?" "I can show you how," replied the small tree. Blaze was curiously confused as to what a small acorn could offer her. Nevertheless, she lowered her head and prodded the small tree to say more. "If you want to be free," continued the acorn, "bring me water every day, and I will use the water to grow strong, and I will spread my branches over this fence. With enough time, water, and sun, my branches will become strong. And once my branches are strong, you can walk right over this tall white fence." Blaze had her doubts about the acorn's plan. However, her desire for freedom outweighed them. From that day forward the little oak drank as much water as his roots could hold. Over time, and to Blaze's surprise, the outlines of a bridge began to appear. With plenty of sun and water, and a persistent root, the path to freedom grew stronger and more distinct. One day the path was done, and it was time for Blaze to leave. Blaze whinnied and neighed in celebration, and marched over the tree-grown bridge. From the wild side of the fence, Blaze turned to her branchy companion. "I will not forget your kindness," said the horse. The oak did not respond, but instead waved his leaves and wiggled his roots. Blaze then turned to the open field and did what she loved to do most, to run wild and free. And this time, as she ran, there were no watchers and no rules and no trophies. And this time she ran wilder and faster than ever before. Thanks for watching this first take of story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's a whole bunch of areas while I was going through this process. I was seeing places that I can improve, add some Shazam or Fajaz, I don't know, whatever word, um, to be able to make it a little better and more exciting. Um, so yeah, looking forward to the next one and hope you guys still enjoyed this one and have a good day.